Okay, Simin Yudalid, Sif Dalid. Mizmar L'Soida, Aimer Ba'amido B'Simcha. You say it standing up and with Simcha. Because it's Taida, it's Shehu B'Malkim Korban Taida, which is the Korban that we do to thank Hashem for any particular chesed that happened to us. So you're supposed to stand up with that. You're supposed to stand up. Yomer Ba'amida. Hashira. Yomer Ba'amida. B'Kavano B'Simcha. The Shira should be said standing up and with Kavana and with Simcha. V'chein Birchas Yishtabach. Yamar. Same thing. Birchas Yishtabach. See, I personally am not the right man to learn these halachas because my minig, I don't know if you can call it minig, and many in the yeshiva system, I think it's based on the Gra, but I don't know for sure, is that we sit straight through from Baruch Shomer till Shemona Esrei. So when we stand up for Kaddish and Baruch Hu, really the Baruch Hu, but that's it. We sit straight through. But most of Klal Yisrael does not do that. Okay, hey, b'Shabbos of Yom Tov Einam Mizmor L'Soida. We don't say Mizmor L'Soida on Shabbos Yom Tov Nisha Korban Toida, but b'Nedava. A korban toida is an optional korban. We don't bring the darim and the davos on Shabbos and Yom Tov. Gamin amim oisei b'chol hamoed. Shal Pesach, we don't say chol hamoed Pesach. And they ain't a korban toida ba oz, because the korban toida doesn't come with Pesach. Why? L'fishim toida, because with the toida tzrichin lahavi asara lachmi chametz, you have to bring 10 loaves of bread. The loiba, which is chametz, the loiba erev Pesach, and not on erev Pesach. Why? Kishem lo yuchlu laflam. As man isur chametz, yitztarchu l'sarfam. You might have the 10 loaves of bread. That's a lot of bread. So you may not find enough people to eat it, and in which case you're going to have to burn it, which you don't want to bring kachim to streifa for no reason. The same thing in Erev Yom Kippur, because you can't eat it that night. It has to stop by Shkia, so then you're also limiting the amount of time that you have to eat it. I would say this, my minig is to say it on all these days too, but that's only because by the time I finish spacing out, I already said it, right? Which is, I don't say that with pride, but yeah. But if you said it, you said it, fine. Vav. If you delayed in coming to the Beis Knesset, until after the tzibur started davening, and if you daven in the regular order, you will not get to Shemona Esrei. The main thing is to daven Shemona Esrei with tzibur. That is the main point of tefillah with tzibur. You're allowed to skip parts of davening. This is if there's one sif that every yeshiva guy knows, it's this one. Birchas Anatilas Yidayim, Birchas Atayra, Birchas Elokai Neshama, Lo'ilam Tzarech Loimar Koydem Atfilah. That you have to say before Tfilah. Valkain, Im Loyamor Beisai, if you didn't say it in your house, Tzarech Loimar Beisa Knesses, you have to say it in Shul. And even if for this, you're going to be pushed off from davening with tzibur. Meaning the first bunch of brachas you can't skip. That you have to do. V'gam Kriya Shema ma brachas. Kriya Shema with the brachas also you can't skip. So you have to say it specifically before Shemona Esrei. You start Yotzer you spell Keseder ad achar Shemona Esrei until after Shemona Esrei. Beli shum hefsek. This is for men. Women could skip. It's not like Meir where you can start Shemona Esrei and then daven the rest. But Shachris is not allowed. All the other brachas, meaning even Birchas HaShachar, and the other Seder, Psuki de Zimra, Beli Birchas Baruch Shem Yishtabach, Yachal Amram Gam La'achar Tefillah, you're allowed to say that after Tefillah, meaning the rest of Psuki de Zimra you're allowed to say after davening. There's an interesting din here that some want to say that if you're davening in a late minyan, and you said Kriya Shema because you wanted to make sure you made the Zman, and then you're davening later, then you would be able to skip Kriya Shema. And you'll just say Birchas Kriya Shema without Kriya Shema if you're running late. It's a Chiddush, but there are poskim that say that. And there are those that say that you can skip on Shabbos if you're really running behind. You could skip Kel Adoin. And what's the I forget what it's. What was it? Whatever it is. What are the additions for Shabbos? Then there's another clear. Let's say you're running so late, you're not going to hit the tzibur. You're not going to hit the tzibur when they're davening the silent shemana. But you'll get there to be able to daven along with the chazan, right? So do you have a right to skip for that or not? So some places can say yes, some places can say no. Also, chassidim b'shumayf and alpi kabbalah do not skip, as far as I know. Okay, Zion. After you finish the three brachas that we said, which was Natilas Yadayim, brachas Torah, and Okai Neshama, V'niach Talis Tefillin, so Imu Raya, Ki Ein Lo Yoid Zman Sheyuchal Lagi L'Spal Shemana Esrei. If you see after you put on your talis and tefillin that there's not enough time to hit Shemana Esrei in Matzibur, Ela Kishi Yadaleg, Yaskil B'Birchas Yod Zohar, only when you skip and you start the brach of Yod Zohar, Azay Yaskil Sham, then you should go straight to there. Right? Here now he's saying that you could skip the whole Psuga de Zimra and just start from Yotzer Or if you're really running late. But the Mishnah Brura brings that you shouldn't do this. You should never skip. You need to say at the minimum, which the kids will say in a minute, Baruch Shamar and Ashrei in Yishtavach.
So, Rabbi Stein, based on what you've told us in the past about how schwach our davening in general is because of our attention span, why do we do everything instead of skipping to the meat and potatoes and hope that we're able to focus on that?
It's true, but you can't because the bottom line is we can't go against the Seder Atfilah that the Chazal put us up. Meaning Slichas, you want to do that, that's minig. Anything that's minig, you can play around with, but with straight halacha that Chazal said we have to do, then you can't skimp on that, even for us ADHD people. That's yeah. I mean, somebody on an individual basis maybe can ask. One thing Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach says: better, less while davening, slow and understanding, than to run through the Psukei Zimra, not to skip it. Halavai, I would do this, but that's definitely better. Don't speed up your Psukei Zimra. Rather daven slow, like the Kitzur said 2 days ago. Daven slow, enunciate each word with concentration, and if you have to skip Psukei Zimra, the parts that he's about to say, then skip it. Okay. V'im yesh lezman loimer gam baruch shamar utilu leDavid, which is Ashrei, Ad Saifai, the Hainu Shem Kachel Elam Ve'ed, V'yishtabach, Yomrim, you should say it. Yesh Lizman Yoiser, if you have more time than that, Yomrim Gam Haluka, El V'Kachai, Ad Kol HaNeshamat HaLuka, that's the Akal Haluka, that's the last Haluka. Yesh La'odzman, you have more time, Yoiser, Yomrim Gam Haluka, Halu Es Hashem Min HaShamayim, Yesh La'odzman, Yoiser, Yomrim Gam Shar Laluka. I'm surprised nobody ever came out with a siddur like this, to have it in the order of the skipping. Right, we have the Maber Sedra Chumash, right, which is a newfound thing. So why don't we print the Siddurim, the late comers Siddur, right? And it'll have one page, we'll have just Ashrei. Then you have more time, then this is your next page. That's probably a bizayon. But
to do it, it'll be the Rabbi Stein Siddur.
Great.
Fund the tool.
Yeah.
You do it out of order?
You do it out of order, yes. Yes, the last Hallelujah has a Ashrei, and the last Hallelujah is a priority. Then if you see that the Chazan is slow or whatever,
I thought that if you see that you have more time before, you do the other Hallelujahs. So you do the last Hallelujah, then you see you have more time, you can go ahead and do another Hallelujah?
Many a time I've said Ashrei and the last Hallelujah, and then you go. Pretty hard to skip the last Hallelujah. We're talking about it's 4 psukim.
Right. I'm saying, but then if you realize you have more time, you said another Hallelujah that was earlier.
Yes. You go through this order here that the Kitzur says. It's like it's all over. It's almost easier to come on time to davening than to try and figure out the whole order. That's what I'm saying. We should make a late comer siddur. Anyways, we even split up paragraphs. Then you skip to the V'hurachum before Ashrei, B'shom Yaskil, then you start again. Meaning not again, you start from there. The Shabbos editions, as I call them is Marim, meaning in Psukim Zimra, as I call them is Marim Psukim Sha'imrim Ma'asim B'chol Yom Lahem Kadima. The daily Psukim Zimra goes first because of Todim. If you have some time to say the ones that you add on for Shabbos, nearly the Shabbos of Yom Kippurim, then it seems to me that on Shabbos and Yom Kippur, Mizmor Shiliyam Shabbos v'Halal Agadol, right? That's Haidul Hashem, Shehu Haidul Hashem Kitay v'Chulei. Lehem Akadima, they come first. It's interesting. This is another place where the Mishnah Berurah says different. The Mishnah Berurah brings the Chai Adam that Nishmas has a big priority. Right? That comes before everything, even the weekday Psuga de Zimra. So I think that's the more accepted psak. Ubashar Yom Tif Lahalo Hagadol Levad Hakadima. Another Yom Tov in which there's no reason to say Mizmor Shili Yom Shabbos, so then the Halal Hagadol has Kadima Racha, HaMizmor Lam Natseach, the David B'Shanoisai, Tefillah L'Moshe. Bottom line is, it's easier to come on time. Yeah. The Mishnah Berurah also brings that you can't do this on a steady basis. If you find yourself doing this on a steady basis, it's not allowed. You have to. It can only be done when it, if it happens once in a while.
Hence why they don't have a latecomers sitter.
Correct. Everything should be said before Yishtabach. Meaning, because sometimes people ask, I got to Yishtabach, and now I realize I have time to go back and do Psuga Zimra. No, you can't. Once you say Yishtabach, you're done. After you're davening, you go back and you go back to what you skipped. I think the Aruch Shulchan is not so happy al pi Kabbalah to go back and repeat. Not repeat, but to say what you missed. Rak Baruch Shamar v'yishtabach ein amrim lachar tefillah. Baruch Shamar v'yishtabach you don't say after tefillah. Bim raya shafilu yasel b'yichas yaitzer or la yuchal l'spal shmena esrei matzibur elen ken yimar. And if you see that once you start a Yotzer Or, that you're not going to be able to finish the Shemona with the Tzibur, unless you go quick. Alright, so he's saying a little different. We said before Mishal Zaman about Psuga de Zimra. Here the Kitzur is saying it about Birchas Kriya Shema. Don't run through Birchas Kriya Shema like a madman. Right? Better to daven slow. Better to daven slow than and miss Tefillah B'Tzibur, which we've always said, which the concept is a little bit lost on us nowadays, unfortunately. But the main yesod of davening is to understand and to concentrate, not to daven at the same time as a minyan. But okay, listen, our davenings, like Jesse was saying, our davenings are shvach anyway, so you might as well daven with the minyan. Fine, ches in bola base of knesses. And the tzibur already started Psuga de Zimra. Ain't like talus of tefillin. You don't have talus of tefillin. Whom mitzapa they're bringing it to you. Yochel ispal gamkem Psuga de Zimra. You can say Psuga de Zimra because yavi like talus of tefillin yanichim la'achar yishtabach. You'll put them on after yishtabach. Kaidei birchas yotzor v'yivarach aleim, and you make the bracha on them. That's what a lot of people are doing nowadays. That you have to daven. You have to start davening before the Zman Talis and Tefillin. So you daven up to Yishtabach, say Yishtabach, and then put on Talis and Tefillin. And if you're afraid that if you're going to put them on, you're going to miss Tefillah B'Tzibur, Yedalim min Behura Achum Shebahaydu ad Behura Achum Shekoydom Ashrei. Skip from there. Oymin Vayosha ad Yishtabach. Just say the Mizmarim Ikrim, which is Ashrei and the Halalukas. Meaning, say that all without your talis and tefillin, so that you'll have time after Yishtabach to put on the talis and tefillin. Before the Shliach Tzibur says Kaddish, right? But he does. But the Chazan can't do this. The Chazan cannot be mafsik after Yishtabach. He has to put the talis and tefillin on before Yishtabach, because you can't make a hefsek between Yishtaba and Kaddish. Right? Yeah. Okay. Hopefully this is not negeya to all of us. And on that note, we'll stop talking so that they can go to sleep so they can be on time tomorrow. All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.